It's cool that we got a teaser for it at least. So that's one of the things I was kind of expecting, at least hoping for. Yes! Calm down. Is it Trace older by a bit? Nah, doesn't really. Maybe it looks a little older. Oh boy.
Time is running out.
He is a bit older.
The prophecies say Fimbulwinter leads to Ragnarok. War is coming. My story doesn't end hiding in these woods. I should be out there, finding out who I am, who Loki is.
I will not allow you to pick a fight with gods.
I don't want to fight anyone. I just want answers.
And if those answers lead to war with Asgard,
Maybe that's
Bye,
another
Freya.
one.
we do not know what Mother wanted.
Well,
Is he painting?
recognize that dour expression anywhere. Odin's got tricks up his
Ah,
sleeve
so
haven't you?
it
Consider.
seems like it's the same
What if there was someone
places
who
so
could help
far.
us?
You mean Tyr, the old god of war in these lands, who is dead.
Well, for a dead man, Odin seemed pretty keen
Oh
on
my-
saying he wasn't found.
Is that
He's out there.
Vanaheim?
We gotta find him.
Come in.
Or is that
What in all yarns
Svartalfheim?
We're trying to stop.
Oh my
Ragnarok.
god, look at how
Help
good
people.
this looks.
And what if the only way to do that is war?
War is not the only way.
Stop thinking like a father for a moment and start thinking like a general.
You seem like a calm and reasonable person. Are you a calm and reasonable person?
Oh shit. Man, look how good this looks.
In moments of crisis, panic does nothing. Harness it. Let it serve you.
What's he riding?
Tyr!
Tyr's
Are
alive?
you coming with us?
Tyr's alive, alright. We all assumed he was dead.
You'll get your answers soon enough. Well, some of them.
That's... They didn't get us a release date.
For gamers to get the next chapter of Aloy's adventure in their hands.
Thanks for the update, Herman. We're joined now by Eric and Corey from Santa Monica Studio. And I wanted to check in with you two on the big announce we saw just a few minutes ago, God of War Ragnarok. We finally got our first big look at it. And actually, Eric, I wanted to start with you. You've been involved with every single God of War, including 2018's God of War. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct, Sid. I've been with the studio since 2004 in many different capacities, working with both Santa Monica and Randy at Dawn on the God of War franchise. And I don't know why, but they thought it'd be a good idea to say, hey, do you want to direct this one? And so that's what I'm doing. I'm directing God of War Ragnarok, or as Corey likes
So
to call it,
Corey's-
heard of it.
yeah.
So that's...
So
yep,
Corey's not directing
So
this
Eric, why the shift in leadership on God of War Ragnarok?
It's always been a tradition here at Santa Monica to change the directors across the games. You know, we've had really good success with that. Corey's been the only repeat director, and you know, rightfully so. He's pretty damn good at what he does. So that's kind of what it is.
The important thing for us is to be able to kind of get a fresh perspective each time, but also, you know, a fresh pair of legs in the sense that you're really exhausted at the end of finishing one of these things. So you got to con somebody else into doing it, like him.
So Eric, what aesthetics or themes sort of resonate with you as a creative? I mean, I guess what I'm getting at is like, how do you see yourself leaving your fingerprints on God of War Ragnarok?
It's kind of the designer in me wants to answer one way, but as a director, you have to answer a different way. I think you have to learn how to jettison your own profession when you switch over to the director's role, which I'm sure Corey can understand. I mean, he kind of animated a little bit on God of War 2, and we kind of had to throw it all out except for that sneaky backflip that Kratos has never done again that we left in. That's the perk of being the director, I guess. But you know, from my point of view, like, we want to tell a very heartfelt and epic story as, you know, a father and son go on a journey, and they kind of struggle with holding on to stuff.
We'll
and letting
rewatch
go
the
of
trailer,
things. You know,
so...
it's a very difficult
Oh, I
kind
just
of
realized
condition that
this.
we all deal with. And,
Talk about it when I
we
rewatch
kind
the
of
trailer.
want to arrive at that by taking like slices of life or family, you know, drama, if you will, and kind of juxtapose that against big Norse backdrop. And you know, at the end, we just want to have an ending that feels very, you know, surprising yet inevitable based on all those things. But it's kind of, you know, I'm from the Midwest, so like slice of life, very common, mundane things are just as interesting as big world events. And so we try to collide those things together. It's, you know, make an experience that's very worthy of the God of War name.
So with the game officially being called God of War Ragnarok, I guess it doesn't take a genius to think that perhaps Ragnarok factors into this game in some manner. Can you confirm that, Eric?
Yeah, I mean, you can't call the game God of War Ragnarok and not have Ragnarok happen in the game. So, you know, it's going to happen. We're going to cap off the Norse series with it. And I think Chris Judge said it best in the announced trailer last year. Prepare yourselves.
The last game ended with a teaser of sorts for Thor. And I just got to know, was that Thor's voice we heard in the trailer just a few minutes ago?
That was definitely Thor's voice that we heard in the trailer. Thor is being played by Ryan Hurst, which you might know him from Sons of Anarchy. He played Opie, one of my favorite characters ever. And we're just delighted to have him come play in the God of War sandbox. And his take on Thor and our take visually on Thor is very different than the hunky Australian you might know. You know, he's much closer to the Norse mythology version. You know, he's this big, burly, almost hedonistic man-child, red hair, you know, left-handed, just a little off kilter than the Thor that a lot of people know right now. So I can't wait for people to experience more of that when the game's done.
We also heard the name Odin in tonight's trailer. So I imagine if we're going to experience Ragnarok, Odin's going to have to play a pretty big role.
We haven't seen him yet.
Definitely. I mean, Odin is the Allfather of all the realms, so he's going to show up when Ragnarok happens. We're very, very happy to have Mr. Richard Schiff come on to play Odin for us. You may know him as Toby from The West Wing. This was one that we never thought was going to happen. It was like kind of a shot in the dark, and he got back to us, and we walked him around the mocap volume, and he was just like, I've never done anything like this before. Let's do it. And so the kind of rest is history. So I can't wait for people to experience that and see how he factors in. And it's a very different take, again, much like Thor. You know, he's like a old man who's just kind of busy with his own things and doing whatever he wants. And he's
God of War 4 makes him seem like an arsehole, like a
again,
really
different
bad
take on what we do.
person.
We just
So
take what's known and curveball it a little bit.
let's see what they do with him.
Special.
We also saw a couple of new characters tonight. So what can you tell us about them?
Are you talking about the little squid? Oh no, you're talking about Tyr, the big guy. Yeah, he's the
And
Norse
the
God of
dwarf
War.
shopkeeper
And
dude.
Kratos and Atreus have finally found him. We talked a lot about him in 2018, so we were like, well, might as well show him to the people. And then the last character we saw at the trailer, you know, like with the little wink and smile from Angrboda, she's one of the last remaining giants, and her story is pretty amazing and how it fits into the world of God of War. Tyr is being played by Ben Prendergast, who's been completely absorbed in the role, even though he is not a giant as Tyr is. And then Angrboda is being played by Leia De Leon Hayes, who's a complete treasure on set. She's been amazing. Watching her chemistry with the other characters has been amazing, and she's one of the last giants that's living. So we have those characters and a few more. You know, there's a lot of different monsters you saw in there, and there's been so many talented people at the studio building this trailer and putting it together. I just want to give a shout out to the team. I love you guys. You know, I wish you could be here doing this interview with me. I wish you were all behind me right now at the studio. That would have been completely amazing. And, you know, lastly, to our fans, we have a saying at the studio that we are fans of our fans, and I cannot wait to watch all the tweets, the messages, the reaction videos that you guys put out, and our team to be able to take that into heart and just get excited and hyped, and then use that to push us through to finish the game for you guys. So thank you very much.
Now, Corey, we haven't heard a whole lot out of you here tonight. So now that we know you're not directing God of War Ragnarok, I was hoping maybe you could give us a little clue about what you may or may not be working on next.
Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you? You'd like me to just spill the beans and tell you everything that's going on right now. We're actually doing a bunch of stuff. It's really exciting, all the things that we're doing, and you're tempted to know what is this, but I don't really have anything I can talk about right now specifically, mostly because we're really focused on God of War Ragnarok, that I am incredibly excited that I finally understand that that's what everyone was saying. God of War Ragnarok. I was way off. I was thinking it was something else that they were talking about. I think we'll wait to get any deeper into anything else until later. We'll talk again, Sid.
All right. Well, thank you, Corey, and thank you, Eric. And next up, we have Ryan Treadwell. He's the lead producer at Aspyr. And wouldn't you know, just a little while ago, we got the announcement of a remake for Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. So, Ryan, I guess my question is this like a remaster of the original?
It says
game,
remake, so I'm expecting
so
full
much more,
engine
Sid.
thing.
This is a complete remake of this beloved Star Wars story. For Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake, we are rebuilding from the ground up while maintaining that integrity of story and character from the original.
So Ryan, how much of a remake are we talking about here? I mean, is this updating some graphics, adding some higher resolution modes?
You know, the original Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic is a true classic and one of our favorite Star Wars stories ever. We want to honor that original story and make it as impactful for players today. In terms of the visuals, we have an opportunity to present this story with a much higher level of fidelity than was possible in the past, while making sure that we're being authentic to what players loved about that original game.
So we know Aspyr from bringing classic
What about the
Star
gameplay
Wars
though?
games to modern
Combat.
consoles. But
Have
this
you
is a
improved it?
much bigger project than anything the studio's tackled before. So what can you tell me about the team behind the game?
You're absolutely right. While Aspyr has enjoyed a great relationship with Lucasfilm Games through our work bringing classic Star Wars games to new audiences on modern platforms, this project is on a completely different level to anything we have done before. That's why we knew we had to assemble the right team to do this project justice. We put together a team full of industry veterans from fan-favorite RPGs, even including the original Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. It has been a really rewarding experience to assemble such a talented team to bring back an epic game. Of course, we're also working closely with the amazing teams at PlayStation and Lucasfilm Games. Together, we couldn't be more excited about what we'll be able to show you in the future. All of us are, of course, huge Star Wars fans too. One of the nice parts about building a team to make a big Star Wars game is the ability to instantly bond with all of the new people of your favorite aspects of Star Wars. We all have different Star Wars memorabilia behind us in every call, and it always sparks up a good conversation.
All right, thanks, Ryan. Very exciting stuff, and I'm definitely dying to see more of that one.
Thank you, Sid. It will be some time before we're ready to show more, but we're very excited about being able to reveal more in the future.
All right, and that's it for our show. You can catch up on all the big news on PlayStation.blog and check out all the trailers from tonight's PlayStation Showcase on YouTube. Thanks for watching.
So we'll be doing, well, kinda. To be honest, I'm probably only going to watch the God of War one, because all the other things that were interesting were teasers, and didn't really show anything of him. I guess we could just watch through it once more. No, we'll watch through it once more and then we'll give it a more detailed look.
Time is running out. The prophecies say Fimbulwinter leads to Ragnarok. War is coming. My story doesn't end hiding in these woods.
So Freya's actively attacking them now.
Who Loki is.
So she's gained her will to fight again, or whatever it was, because she was cursed to not do so.
I just want answers.
And if those answers lead to war with Asgard?
Maybe that's
I forgot to mention this too, but
What, Mother Watty?
Well,
during that little during like the developer interview, they said that they kind of implied that this is gonna be the last one of this like arc, and there isn't gonna be. It's not like it's a trilogy.
The old god of war in these lands, who is dead.
Yeah, that's it.
well, for a dead man, Odin seemed pretty keen on seeing he wasn't found.
If he's out there,
Yeah.
we gotta find him.
I must have missed that bit of dialogue, because I was so asphyxiated with everything else.
We're trying to stop Ragnarok, to help people. And what if the only way to do that is war?
Yeah, it looks very similar to like God of War 4, so it's like it's gonna be very easy to access for someone who's familiar to that game. but it's clear that it has a lot more stuff going on.
Like a general.
Yeah, he was fondling Faye's ash bag, which is empty now.
And reasonable person.
I'm just wondering, is Bear McCreary going to be doing the music again? Because the soundtrack for 2018 is amazing.
Panic does nothing. Harness it.
Fighting centaurs, it looks like.
Here.
Are you coming with us?
It's so
Get your
cool
answers
looking.
soon enough. Well, some of them.
Alright. So let's go back through that pause. Sort of inch our way through. So what do we have here to start with? I mean, I don't think there's going to be anything, like, particularly special here. I guess they've just gone on a hunt. I think it's interesting, though. One of the things I noticed when Trace is coming back in, sort of, like, pay attention to the silhouette. First off, the fur looks so good. So you just look at him. He just looks like a human, but with like a deer head. What's sort of like this? That's what the silhouette seems to be going for. I don't know if Loki has any connection to deers specifically in Norse mythology. I'm just wondering if there's any kind of symbolism there. It's interesting to know, I guess. But we won't know till it's out. Okay.
Time is running out. The prophecies say Fimbulwinter leads to Ragnarok. War is coming. My story doesn't end hiding in these woods. I should be out there, finding out who I am, who Loki is.
I will not allow you to pick a fight with gods.
I don't want to fight anyone. I just want answers.
And if those answers lead to war with Asgard,
Maybe that's what Mother wanted.
we do not know what Mother wanted.
It's fucking guy. Dude, poor Mimir, his entire existence is just being a disembodied head now. He could barely do anything. So they just left him at home while they're hunting or something, and he's just painting.
Well, I recognize that dour expression anywhere.
So this is clearly going to be a new travel mechanic. So the thing I noted here, it seems like they are going to stick around with some consistency, because this is just Midgard. Like, it's all frozen over, but, like, you know, it's going to be the Lake of Nine. It's going to be, like, the same layout as God of War 4. I'm trying to see, that doesn't look like there's any differences with weapons in particular. Still got the Leviathan Axe and the Blades of Chaos. And yeah, we have this little dog sled. It's going to be for traversal. Because one of the things I was obviously... So, like, two things that I'm hoping for from this, mostly gameplay-wise, is obviously fighting more gods, for starters, rather than just Balder and Magni and Modi, pretty much. Like, fight some more gods. If this is the last one as well, if there's no third game in this, then you're kind of gonna have to, right? You're gonna have to give us a chance to fight some of the other Norse gods. And obviously go to the realms that we didn't go to in the first game, so that is Svartalfheim, which is the realm of the dwarves. Seems like that's where they're going to. I assumed it was Vanaheim at the start, but no. But that is a place we haven't gone either. And Asgard, of course. Like, I mean, obviously not everything's going to be shown here. They don't want to spoil too much. You could say that they were spoiling things with, like, suggesting Tyr's alive, because we didn't know that from the first game. I mean, it was even stated here, it's like, yeah, he was just implied to be dead. Like, he was just killed at some point. But, I don't know, maybe it's not as major as the letting on. Not major as a spoiler, anyway. What else do we have, anyway?
Odin's got tricks up his sleeve we haven't dared to consider.
What if there was someone who could help us?
You mean Tyr?
Look at this place. Look at it all. Yeah, all the tools around. This has to be Svartalfheim.
The old god of
Man, look at it. Obviously, you're not going to be able to explore this entire place, but man, this is beautiful.
war in these lands, who is dead.
Well, for a dead man, Odin seemed pretty keen on seeing.
Yeah, because... Yeah, there's a lot of dwarves here. But that's, like, not only are there a lot of dwarves, but are we actually going to be able to interact? Because in God of War 4, there was none of that, really. Like, everything was just sparse. There was no, like... Aside from, like, the specific important named NPCs, there was no just casual people, even just, like, fleeing or trying to survive or anything that you come across. There was no just, like, normal people going around doing their daily lives. So, you know, it could kind of make it feel a little, I guess, lonely. It's not going to be the case here, though. I think that's an improvement, I would say.
Wasn't found.
If he's out there, we gotta find him.
Come in. What in all yarns be the happened to him?
Oh my god, yeah, he did. Man, I guess I kind of underestimated it. He does look like he grew quite a bit.
Come in. What in all?
It's been a couple of years, so... It's been, what, like, I think it's like 3. I think that's how long they said it would take for Ragnarok to actually start properly.
All yarns be the
Yeah, because he was about on the same level height as Brock in the first game.
happened to him.
We're trying to stop Ragnarok, to help people.
Who is this boy? This trader? Just another dwarf, I'm guessing. I guess there's nothing... I suppose there's nothing to know if, they don't actually mention his name, so I guess we don't know. Also, cool octopus, bro.
And what if the only way to do that is war?
What are those enemies? They look like toad people. Hang on a minute. Yeah, they look like toad / basilisk folk. I should go back a little more, actually. So, first off, you can put yourself to higher points using Blades of Chaos.
The only way to do that is war.
Yeah, there's like plunging attacks and stuff. Yeah, I noticed how he had her little pouch that her ashes were held in. Kept it for sentimental reasons, I suppose.
Stop thinking like a father for a moment and start thinking like a general.
You seem like a calm and reasonable person.
Are those Asgardians then?
Calm and reasonable person.
Yeah. Dude, I didn't even notice that. They just came in through the Bifrost. That's why that entrance was cool as fuck.
Reasonable person.
They're Asgardians. Or, the Aesir, I should specify. Oh, yeah, I didn't even recognize this. It's the fucking main bridge to the central, to the Bifrost room. Fuck, man, it's all covered in snow. I couldn't recognize it. So familiar yet so different. What is this thing?
In moments of crisis.
Was that so that was a centaur dude, right? Yeah, it is. It's a centaur.
It's a crisis.
What is this place? Trying to pick everything apart here.
Panic does nothing.
Looks like an elf.
Let it serve you.
Atreus is just riding this fucking like deer around, and it's got weird looking horns. And Tia, alright. His eyes are correct, by the way. Same as Mamiya's. Anyway, the way they describe Tia, he just sounds like a complete bro in the first game, so I guess we'll see. And then we have her, who's the last remaining giant. I forgot her name, if they mentioned it. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty sick. It looks very familiar, but also looks very fresh and new to quite a good degree. So yeah, we've got quite a lot of new stuff in there. So what did we get? We got God of War Ragnarok, a KOTOR remake, which fucking hell, that came out of nowhere. Wolverine, which could be cool. Spider-Man 2. Trying to think of anything specifically that I forgot to mention. I'm sure there's a bunch of others that my brain just doesn't pick up on. But again, I guess most of the event just had titles I wasn't too fascinated in. Still no FF16 though, tragically. Oh yeah, Uncharted 4 confirmed coming to PC, and it's getting 60 FPS for its remaster on the PS5, which is good. But no Bloodborne PS5 remaster or anything. No PC port have been announced. No 60 FPS for that game. Sag. Yeah, and no FF16, as I mentioned. Which kind of sucks, because they didn't announce it during Square's E3 conference. You'd think they want to drop it here at some point, but I guess we're just not going to learn anything about that game for a while. It's a shame, because it looks so good. Okay. Alright then, so I'll get to editing and uploading this thing then. Alright, so hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you when I next get around to doing something. So, goodbye.